Let's see if I can get this right. The new microphone without knocking the phone off. That way I ain't got to be all up close and personal to the camera, because nobody wants to see my face that close. So it's better to put my face far away. You guys all catching what a homeboy's throwing? Well, anyway. So I got a couple of notes here that I wanted to talk about a little bit, because people are always saying, well, the doctors always say that the masks are good for you. Well, Dr. Fauci himself came out when this first all started saying people don't need to wear masks. Then a week later, he's standing next to Trump talking about people wearing masks. It's like they're talking out of both sides of their mouth. But there's this guy, this really old guy, but he seems like really, really intelligent. It's a Dr. Vernon Coleman. You can look him up. He's probably not on YouTube because, YouTube doesn't allow truth. May or may not keep this video up. I've had a couple of my videos removed because I disagreed with the World Health Organization and it says I'm not allowed to. What the heck is that? But Dr. Vernon Coleman has said, there's a direct correlation with the rise of the people wearing masks and bacterial pneumonia. People are getting bacterial pneumonia from wearing the mask because there's been a study done of kids wearing the mask, I think in Britain, of these masks, and they, kind of like they do a swab of them, and there's 82 bacterial colonies and 4 mold colonies growing in the mask, and you're breathing that back in. And these doctors that do these studies saying you're supposed to change the mask every 2 hours. Every 2 hours, you got to, you're rebreathing in bacterial colonies, mold colonies. You're going to get bacterial pneumonia, and then they'll say it's COVID or something. I don't know. So, these things are nasty. It's equivalent to wearing your socks over and over again or the same underwear. I mean, you got to take them off. And, especially to, the brothers and sisters at CMC that I used to work at in prison colony, men's prison colony. And, you're doing 16-hour shifts, breathing that in all day. And some of these effects for this stuff might not even show up for like a year. And next year you got pneumonia, you don't know why. Well, look back to that time you covered your breath and you breathed your own air all the time. That is not healthy. That's just undebatable. It's just not, bring any doctor to tell me that's healthy. So these masks become contaminated. And that's from Dr. Vernon Coleman, and he cited a bunch of doctors, I can't remember all their names, that were doing these studies, saying if you have to, change it every 2 hours. But who's doing that? I say you don't wear a mask at all. That's complete nonsense. And if you got a job that's forcing you to do that, then you leave that job. And if that means you're homeless, well, the Bible talks about that we're going to be, not able to buy or sell. That day is coming. So if you're still trying to think that you're going to be able to ride the fence and be on both sides of the fence, still have a job, be able to collect retirement and all that stuff while serving God, it doesn't work that way. The Bible says you can't serve 2 masters. So you can't work for the system and get financial gain and then, work for God. It doesn't work that way. So I don't know. I'm hoping that, if this vaccine comes out, and it is coming, and it's starting December, and first responders are probably going to be amongst the first to get it, or at least required. Like I said, I don't think they're going to force the vaccine because they're not going to need to force it. You're going to want it. And the reason why you're going to want it is because you're not going to be able to have a job. You're not going to be able to walk into a store. You're not going to be able to drive a car. It's going to take away your rights to do anything unless you have the mask. So there's going to be people lined up for it. And it's going to be hard for even people to know the truth to not want to get it, because you're going to eventually not be able to have any food in your house or, do anything. So these things are coming. I've known they're coming. The people that are still at CMC, to you guys, I feel sorry for you, because that come to Jesus moment is right around the corner. And you're going to have to decide, are you going to take that to keep working? Because I guarantee it'll be mandatory. 100%. And I think it deep down inside too. It's going to be mandatory. And you got to decide, am I going to take that? Once you take that, you're on Satan's team. far as I'm concerned. And you got to decide, right now, can you leave? Can you have yourself set up to be able to bust out of there and get out of the system? I mean, we're not going to prolong our life much longer. I about as close as I could possibly pull off, got out of the system as best as I can. It's not a perfect situation, but it's a whole lot better than being homeless and, not being able to eat right away. I figured I have had myself set up properly to where I can, I bought a house paid off cash in 4 acres, and I've got food and water and a way to protect them. Now, that's not a silver bullet, it's not going to save me. It's going to prolong me a little bit longer. Eventually, this system's going to get us all. I just tried to pull out of it as much as I possibly could. So, hopefully I did this right and is actually recording, but that's all I got to say for now, folks. See you later.